Welcome. This walk, guided by audio instructions, will help you discover the rich history of this city step by step, at your own pace. As the capital of Malta, Valletta is the administrative, commercial and cultural heart of the island. The city of Valletta is considered as a modern city, built by the knights and the jewel of the Baroque style. The square you are standing in is St. John's Square. It faces Valletta's most important church, St. John's Co-Cathedral. Walk along Zachary Street, turn right onto South Street, then turn left when you reach Republic Street. You will now find yourself just in front of the ruins of the Royal Opera House. Walk towards the corner of the block in front of the National Arts Museum.
Hastings Gardens is the largest of the 3 public gardens in Valletta. It was named after General Francis, Marquis of Hastings.
After the Hastings Gardens walk, you will be facing one of the sides of St. John's Cavalier. Now walk just a few paces to the right, and you will be standing by the present main entrance to Valletta, which was built in 1964. Now go down the staircase, turn to your right, and stand in front of the Church of Our Lady of Victories, and just in front of it is the Church of St. Catherine of Italy. Walk further up the street towards the square. Castile Square is the first square you come across when entering Valletta by car from the main road. Continue walking in the direction of the Dr. Borch-Olivier monument. On your right, you can enter the Upper Baracca Gardens, which is the next attraction. The next attraction is another hostel, the Auberge d'Italie. It is located in Merchant Street.
The palace opposite the Auberge d'Italie is known as the Palazzo Parisio. It was built in the second half of the 18th century as a palace of a noble family. From the outside, St. Paul's Shipwreck Church looks rather like a small chapel, but the building actually takes up half a street block. The church's main entrance is on St. Paul's Street.
Turn round the block, making a U-turn, so that you end up in Merchant Street, where you will find the Palace Armory. On your way, you will pass in front of Our Lady of Damascus Church in Archbishop Street, which is on the right-hand side of Merchant Street. Inside this Greek church, you can see an icon of Saint Mary, that the Knights of St. John brought with them from Rhodes in 1530. Walk uphill, and on your left you will get to the Lower Baracca Gardens. As you exit the garden, walk down towards Mediterranean Street, which leads you to the Sacra Infermeria. As you exit the garden, walk down towards Mediterranean Street, which leads you to the Sacra Infermeria. Opposite the Sacra Infermeria,
Fort St. Elmo is the site of what was probably the most crucial event in the history of Malta. It was here that the victory over the Turks took place in the Great Siege of 1565. In that year, the peninsula of Valletta was merely a hillside with no buildings at all, except for the imposing Fort St. Elmo. The fort was erected in 1553 on the tip of the peninsula that controls Malta's 2 most important harbours.
You can now set off towards the next attraction, which, despite being a little further away, will allow you ample time to appreciate the exceptional views as you walk along the curtain of fortifications, firstly the French and English and finally the German. Standing in what is now Independence Square, next to the monument of Father Michael Sherry, you can see St. Paul's Anglican Cathedral. The neoclassicist church was actually constructed on the side of the Auberge d'Allemagne. The British tore down the German Knights' Hostel in 1839 to make space for the Anglican Church, which was built when the British King's widow, Adelaide, came to visit Malta and discovered that a church of her denomination was missing in Valletta. Continue to walk straight down to St. George's Palace Square. The prominent monument on the square reminds us of the so-called 7 Giugno. The 7th of June 1919 was the day when many Maltese lost their lives in the struggle against British colonialism, the ruling force in Malta. We have now reached the end of this guided tour, which was aimed at helping you to discover many interesting facts about this city. For further information, please visit our website on cultel.com.